Hello everyone and welcome back to Affinity for Commander, where today we're discussing a topic so important I've needed to put on a jacket to discuss it properly, which is indeed the use of tutors across the Commander brackets. And yes, we are going to be using that term. Basically, I'm going to be looking at whether or not this is some massive heinous crime against Dr. Garfield's very vision for the game, or if it's absolutely nothing and we're making far too much of a fuss over nothing. As always, if you're looking at the cards you see here today in this video, then please make sure you are making your purchase through any of our lovely affiliate links in the description box below. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but really helps the channel out quite a lot. And as always, all prices you see here today are provided by the fabulous sponsor of this channel, cardmarket.com. So firstly, on what Urza's ruined Dominaria is a tutor. Tutors tend to be any card or effect that allows a person to search the library, or someone else's library, for one or more cards and put them in a specific zone, which is usually the top of the library with most of the tutors that, come to mind straight away. So from this, I decided to have a look at how many tutors there actually are in Magic available in the Commander pool. So we nipped on over to scryfall.com and typed in a few words that allow us to search our library, and wow, that's too many. So let's refine the search, take out searching for land and searching for specific cards, like, those cards that came in those Planeswalker decks, for instance. After this, I narrowed it down further into cards that can just get specific card types rather than specific cards themselves, and essentially are trying to get to the very essence of a card that can tutor up pretty much anything or one specific card type to a zone you want, and there's no real reason to not playing it in your deck if you're in those colours. I want to be trying to get cards like Vampiric Tutor, not stuff, Rebel Kindred. And from this, I've been able to narrow it down to around about 149 cards that will allow you to tutor through your library to get a specific card type, an aura, an enchantment, a planeswalker, an instant, or sorcery. Enlightened, mystical, and worldly tutor all search for specific card types and place them on top of your library to be drawn later, for example. And these are, of course, good cards. A spicy take, I know. But more importantly, these cards are a controversy lightning rod, especially with people saying their decks will be of a certain power level or in a certain bracket, just before, worldly tutoring in someone's end step, and then go grabbing that creator over to then kill everyone whilst they're playing elves on turn 5. So what makes these cards exactly so powerful and so divisive? For this, I took to X/Twitter for some people's thoughts and feedback, and got quite a lot of good ones, if I may say so. Firstly, and a point I rather agree with, is the fact that Commander is by nature a singleton format, and running tutors essentially gives you an additional copy of a card that you want. Which, when you get to that point of the game, you can argue, why aren't you just playing any other constructed format if you want to play 4 of a certain card? Along with this, tutors enable you to get very specific cards for you to do one specific game action over and over and over again, increasing that reliability rather than just either drawing it naturally or getting there through draw power from your deck. Now, that might completely sound like a slice of fried gold, but if you're doing that and your deck is entirely based around doing one specific card interaction, well then that's cEDH there, boyo, and you really shouldn't be thoracling people at a casual table on turn 3. And further, a lot of people express their notion they want a more randomized game of Commander, and tutors literally rob them of that by increasing the reliability of being able to get certain cards at certain key points in the game. Even the very notion of redundancy in a singleton format essentially does cheapen the entire notion of it just a little bit. Now, those are the reasons that people have against running these cards, aside from those monetary issues, whether self-imposed or otherwise. But what about the flip side? What about the reasons to run these objectively good cards? Well, tutors, as stated, are powerful for the very specific reason of increasing the redundancy of your deck. So if your deck is built around doing that one specific, very, very silly combo, right up to being able to, brain freeze and then cast Underworld Breach as quickly as possible, then yeah, of course, tutors are going to be your go-to bread and butter. Secondly, if you're running a deck that has very minimal support or a very weird creature type Kindred style deck, then yeah, having tutors is going to make your deck actually be able to function and keep up rather than comboing people out. The tutors here not even really acting as a power boost, just making your deck be able to be played. And finally, if I may, this increase in reliability also has the added benefit of being able to actually stop a game from going 3.5 hours continually due to the fact that none of the people at the table actually drew their big beefy game enders because they haven't drawn them naturally, and it actually lets the game end because it's been hours upon hours and we've been through our 5th board wipe and I am hungry and want to see my family. So there are reasons to run these objectively powerful cards for not even objectively powerful reasons. That being said, having these cards does increase your deck's power level, even if you are going from absolute draft chaff to a level 1 or bracket 1 deck, that's still an increase. Still a casual as hell deck because you've built an eyeball tribal, but it's still going to help with it. It's kind of why you're running the card. But does that mean every single deck that is running a Vamp Tutor is pushing the very bounds of casual and is on the pioneer of becoming the new cEDH meta? No. No, of course not. What it does mean is that deck will have a great deal more consistency than its non-tutoring counterpart. Take Sliver Queen, for instance, versus Sliver Overlord. That on-stick tutor ability is way more powerful than any of the other 5-colour Sliver Legends just for that versatility to be able to grab whichever Sliver you need at an exact point in the game. So back to our big overarching question, should these tutoring cards be ran outside of cEDH levels of play? To which my answer is yes, but within certain context. To prop up certain archetypes that really need it, yes, see Rebel Kindred for instance. In a higher power deck to really get that consistency and keep up with other bracket 3 or bracket 4 decks. Or even in the context of being able to actually bring a game to the end because your deck is built around one silly little interaction that is funny but convoluted as all hell. These are of course based around the playgroup's dynamics and the intent behind playing them. If you're casting an Enlightened Tutor on turn 3 to go get a smokestack for a turn 4 play, then yeah, you can totally do that, but I'm certainly not inviting you back from my casual table next weekend. And that's kind of the issue, people throwing in these objectively powerful cards into decks that simply don't warrant them. Me putting a Vamp Tutor, a Demonic Tutor, a Diabolic Tutor into my Yawn deck, then yeah, that's definitely going to increase my ability to go and grab Marat Large at a moment's notice. But what's the point of me tutoring in my Snow deck? Talk to your playgroup, get a feel for which decks need those tutors to actually be playable, or which decks could do with the tutors but being left out for fun of the game. Or which high-powered deck are you playing that you really need every single gosh darn tutor in because you're tired of losing to the same Sisse deck for every single game for the past 3 weeks. Seriously, Ben, play a different deck. Just literally anything. And on that rather personal note, that'll be the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. What tutors do you run in your decks? What are even your favourite tutors in Magic that aren't the common ones? Let us know in the comments below. We read every single one of them. As always, all of Affinity for Commander content is made possible thanks to support of our amazing patrons. You guys are truly awesome. If you too like to become a patron channel and get access to exclusive EDH related rewards, then check out our link in the description box below. You can also support the channel in a few of the quick and easy ways, liking this video, subscribing, commenting, or sharing it on your preferred social media platform. But as always guys, that'll be it from me for now. I've been Alex, and I'll see you next time.